The third method to do factorization is by using identities. What identities we have learned in the previous chapters are these: a plus b square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab, a minus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab, and a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. Now I will be teaching you how to use these identities in factorization. Now let us check for the first question. In this first question you can see there is nothing common. We cannot use the first method. The second method had we can regroup and take out common, but here we can't even do the regrouping. Why? Because nothing will come out common again. So the third method is we should check if some identities can be used or not. So I am doing the first question. The first question is x square plus 8x plus 16. Now in this question you have to do this. You can write x as x whole square and you can write 16 as 4 whole square, right? That is simple. If you look at any such question, you can write the x square as the x whole square and 16 as 4 whole square. Now you can compare this with the first identity which said a square plus b square plus 2ab. That means it is going similar to the first identity. So here we can write, if this is a square and this is b square, this has to be 2a into b, right? Isn't this coming equal to this? Just check, x whole square will be x square, 2 into 4 into x will be 8x and 4 square will be 16. So isn't this similar to this? What should this be equal to? This should be equal to a plus b whole square. So we write x plus 4 whole square as the answer, right? You can further write it x plus 4 into x plus 4. Both the answers are absolutely correct. Similarly, we have the second question, 4y square minus 12y plus 9. Here also we do the same thing. For the first term we write 2y whole square and we can write the 9 as 3 whole square. Now what do we have? We have a minus sign here. That means we have the second identity. So we will write 2 into a into b. Is it coming out to be 12? 2 2s are 4, 3s are 12y. Yes. So we can write this as 2y minus 3 whole square, or you can write 2y minus 3 into 2y minus 3. Both answers are correct. Third question now. Third question is 49m square minus 25n square. Now 49m square can be written as 7m whole square and 25n can be written as 5n whole square. Now this is coming similar to the third identity that we have done, which is equal to a plus b and a minus b. So I can write this as 7m plus 5n into 7m minus 5n. These cannot be solved further. Neither these could be added. Why? Because this is 7m, this is 5n. These are unlike terms. They cannot be solved any further. So this remains the answer. Next question is the fourth question. It says m square plus 4m minus 8n plus 4m square minus 4mn. Now you have to check which identity can be applied here. Just try and identify the number of terms it has. See, the number of terms it has are 5. Now in these 5 terms you cannot take out anything common because nothing is common. How will you apply the identity now? You have to check by writing the square of the terms possible. See, I can write the square of m as m whole square, right? I can do that. What else I can do? I can write the square of 4n square as 2n whole square. Now, if this is a square and this is b square, next term would be 2ab. That means 2 into m into 2n. That would be 4mn. Somewhat this. So, I can write this as minus 2 into 2n into m. I can write this. What are we left with? We will take these terms separately because these are not to be solved right now. I have taken them separately. I will solve these parts first. m square plus 2n square minus 2ab. This is equal to the second identity. So this solves out to be m minus 2n whole square, right? And what are we left with? Plus 4m minus 8n. Can we solve it any further? Yes, we have something common in them. So we can take out the common also. What is coming out common in both of them? 2. So we are left with 2m minus 4n. Do we have still anything common? Yes, we have. We still have 2 common. So what you can do is you can do it step by step, or here only what you can do, you can take out 4 common. So if we take out 4 common, we will be left with m minus 2n. Now you can see, now in both the terms what do we have common? We have m minus 2n common. Here we had square. So we are left with m minus 2n plus 4. This cannot be solved any further, neither could this. So this remains to be my answer. The last question is fifth question, which says x square plus 4y square plus 4yx minus 64. Let us check by doing the same thing. I can write the whole square of x square as x whole square. I can write this also in the whole square form. This, now the third term would be, automatically it would be 2 into x into 2y. Just check if this is equal to this. 2 to the 4 xy. Yes, it is absolutely equal. So we will group them together and write 64 as 8 whole square. 8 8s are 64. Now this is coming equal to which one? The first identity. So I can write this as x plus 2y whole square minus 8 whole square. Now you can check, this is coming equal to the third identity. The third identity is to be solved this way. A plus b and a minus b. These cannot be solved any further because these are unlike terms. So we leave the answer as it is. So this is how we are going to use identities for factorization.